Hi, R.C. Morton here, and this is my vlog for 11/17/21. And this is just a preliminary of what's going to be coming here in the near future. And what I want to do is in the next couple of weeks is to start going through all the Century Series fighters and giving a summation of their characteristics and when they came out and everything you might ever have wanted to know about the Century Series fighters, which would be the F-100, the F-101, the F-102, the F-104, and the F-105. Now I know I've skipped a couple of them there, but that's because the ones I've skipped are not on display out at the March Airfield Museum, and I only want to talk about the ones that are actually on display out there. But what is a Century Series fighter? It's a phrase that kind of groups together all of the fighters that were designated starting with F-100. And if you look at how military aircraft are designated and numbered, it actually is quite confusing, and it's changed. Originally, back in maybe the 20s or the 30s, they started out with number 1, and they kept going up until they were all redesignated in around 1962. And the Century Series fighters are actually what I call the second generation fighters, and these were the fighters that came out and replaced the first generation fighters, which were the aircraft like the F-84s, the F-86s, P-33s or F-33s, T-33s rather, and the Century Series. The F-84s and F-86s came out right after the end of World War II, and they were used in the war in Korea, and they didn't fare all that well against the MiGs that came out, and so we were in a hurry the military was in a hurry to get some upgraded jets, and that began the Century Series, starting with the F-100. And all of the Century Series aircraft they were supposed to be supersonic when they came out of the factory, and in fact most of them were. One of them had a bit of a problem, and that was the F-102, the Delta Dagger, and it had to go back for some modifications before it was supersonic. But all of the second generation fighters in the Century Series, they had quite a few advancements over the first generation fighters like the F-84s and F-86s. So in the next couple of weeks I want to go through each one of those and discuss the attributes of each aircraft, and hopefully some of the aviation aficionados out there will appreciate the information. Thanks.